Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means of course some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further, because you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all of the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players, exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars, are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode. We'll reset ourselves to our defaults, and let me know if there's anyone who would like to get us started today, or if there's anything in particular we would like to do setup-wise for our first match, and I will jump into the aforementioned Discord group. There we are. Okay. Nice. So I'm all set. In that case, let me know if there's anyone who'd like to get us started today, or if there's anything we'd like to see for our first match. Last week we had, I mean, it was sort of, kind of, a Halloween-themed RITE Night. At least it was the closest we were going to get to a Halloween RITE Night this year. It did, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, you know, up to your own interpretation, I suppose, but it did turn into a bit of a cursed RITE Night, because we had, some trouble getting some people in, and then we most notably had the stream crash mid-Liberation Rite for what I believe was the first time ever. So we had what was probably our first re-Liberation Rite for that reason. So whether that is just thematically fitting for a Halloween stream, or if that's just a plain and simple cursed RITE Night and not something you ever want to experience, well, you know, that's up to you, I suppose, to make that determination. But anyways, as for today, well, Halloween has come and gone, so I assume that is not going to be a point of emphasis this time around. Hopefully, Steam Remote Play and whatever other internet forces agree with us on that. How's it going, Core? How are you? We're just getting started. No one yet who has expressed interest in jumping in here, so if you, or for that matter, if either of you two would like to get us started, you're welcome to. Failer, here's the crowd. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're just getting started. We're just getting things going. So let me know if any of you would like to jump in here. But yeah, I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary that we have in line for today's RITE Night. Alright, looks like it is Failer and Anor who are the first to volunteer here, so let's get the two of them going. Okay. Let's see. Anor. Wait for Failer to pop up on Steam. There he is. Okay. So it looks like we should have those two to get things started. If that makes it any easier to figure out what, if anything, we might want to have set up for our first match, then now you have a little more information to base those requests off of. But for Failer and Anor, if one of you could just confirm who is player 1 and who is player 2, that would be great.
Yep, looks like I'm player 2.
Okay. Let me start setting you guys up then. Oh, that's not how you spell Failer. That's also not how you spell Failer. Oh. There we go. Alright. And so fate for you, Failer. Anor, is it going to be Nightwings for you today? What are you thinking? Was glued to Baldur's Gate 3 this weekend. Not sure if you'll play today. All right, no worries, iRotor. Didn't Baldur's Gate 3 get some pretty major expansion somewhat recently? Am I making that up? All right. Well, we have these two set and ready to go, it would seem. Not seeing any requests, so maybe that means we have a simple, straightforward warm-up match to get things started.
Player 3,
You're player 3?
because you forgot to.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely did not have my own controller plugged in this whole time. Lies. I would never do that. I've never done that before, and I will never do that. That is definitely not the sound of my controller plug falling on the ground as I unplug it. No. Don't be silly. Okay, well, in that case, in this theoretical potential situation in which maybe I happen to have just unplugged the controller that definitely was not plugged in at the beginning, are you still player 3, or are you now actually player 1?
I'm not sure because my controller doesn't respond. I suppose that's better though.
Hold on. Maybe we do fiddle with remote play. Maybe we do put you at player 1 here, and you know that you would think that would mean that Inor would very clearly be player 1, and she can move her controller, which is probably a good sign, but you never quite know these things with remote play, so we shall see. All right, and not seeing any requests even after this, so I think we'll get started. And I'm really tempted to do this right as Phaler's in the middle, switching back and forth between Dissidence and Fate, just to see which one he happens to have. Oh, I might have gotten it on Dissidence! I might have gotten it.
Oh, you might have. Let's see it.
What will it be?
The time is nigh, exiles. Welcome to the pit of Melith.
Oh, moment of truth.
Here you may yet prove your worth. Prevail and step.
Yes, I got
Who
it!
has Destiny this day?
Night wings, stand prepared. Dissidents, stand prepared. Who shall
All
conduct
right.
this rite?
So, no requests for this one, our first rite of the night. Up to you both to take whatever you please for our first match. It is, of course, the Pit of Melith, which is a good map for a wide variety of things. Inor went with a quick-throwing stowaway. The Savages are certainly amongst those classes who can make best use of this arena.
Yeah, these control settings are still kind of messed up from last time around.
Yeah, I know we were messing around with them a little bit last time. I'm forgetting what the exact issue was. Someone was using like a Wii controller or something. We were trying to make that work, and we had to swap around some settings for that. I was hoping we would not... I was hoping that that would not mean we'd have any long-term changes. But maybe it's just as simple as remapping a few things?
Now, this is definitely on your end. My inputs are being now like changed to something else. So I
Okay.
should map jump evade to X again, and it looked like it was Y. So this is on your side, my buddy.
Okay. Why don't I take a look at... It was a Steam setting we had last time, right? That I swapped around?
Yeah, switch Pro controller or something like that.
Okay. Let me see if I can deactivate that change. So what? Steam, settings, controller, use Nintendo button layout, I thought is what we had. And I thought that was activated last week. I thought that's what we did. So I'm surprised to see it deactivated here.
Maybe activate and deactivate.
Yeah.
We're playing Mass Effect. I mean, was that on or off?
That was on when I was playing Mass Effect a couple of days ago, and I was using an Xbox 360 controller, and I did not have any issues with that. So that's strange, but that was just one controller plugged in at that point in time, not two controllers via remote play. So I don't know. Let's see what if anything that did.
Yeah, we're still swapped over. Real weird. Maybe try enabling it again?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Congrats, old cracked Xbox 360 controller. You've been promoted to Switch controller.
It was... Didn't I have it deactivated last time? And yet when I opened this setting back up, it showed that it was highlighted? Weird. It was blue like this when I opened it up, wasn't it? Did anyone else see that? That's weird. Hold on. Try this. I also don't know if it works when you actively have the game running in the background or if you actually need to restart the game for it to make those changes.
Yeah, that's super weird. Maybe check that button on again?
Okay, so what? It's on now. Now it's off. Let's see this. Same thing.
No, this feels better. All right.
Okay. Okay, you know, just Steam remote play things.
All right. Heck yeah.
Don't worry about it. Hopefully it's fine now.
Yeah, that's all matched properly now.
Okay, nice. So very similar setup. From oh wait.
That's not me.
Uh-oh.
That is not you.
Was that Failure? My controller is no longer plugged in, I promise. It was not me. Is Failure now suddenly both players? Remote play? Is this the ghost of remote play? The evil spirit that has haunted us for the past several years, causing all of our troubles with this system? Now finally presented before us? What say you to this evilest of spirits?
All right. Try again now. No, that's me. All right.
That's you.
I'm going to unplug my controller, you unplug yours, and then you plug yours back in first. I don't know, man.
Or you can just choose for me. Hello.
And
Yeah.
see once the game
With my
actually
guidance.
starts.
That's you.
You try pausing. I don't know.
Okay. Any progress?
Nope.
No.
I
Okay.
can move my controller when I'm in the pause menu, but not here.
Okay,
That's-
that
that's
has...
very extreme.
Yeah, that has happened before. So I am kind of curious, if Failure were to set up your team for you, it might be fine once the actual RITE starts.
It might be, yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Okay, Baylor, can you choose
Go for it.
me? Yeah. Almer, 3 beads, L1, R1, R3, yeah, and L2.
What's up, Damage? How's it going? We're doing some Pyre today.
All right. So now you have control of this team.
Oh, did you just
So go
both
for it.
end up switching? Is that what ended up happening? Cursed. In a different way. An unexpected way.
So Liz, if you swap our controllers in remote play, I wonder what happens.
I could do that. Should I try that now?
Yeah,
Is
slam
it worth
it.
a shot? Let's go for it. Okay. Let's see. There you are. Alright, so... Oh! How did that happen? That was not the case before. Because Phaler was player 2, Anor was player 3, and I swapped her back to player 1.
Choose someone.
Okay. Try that. Better?
That's me.
Not better.
You gotta give me player 2. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah, that was Phaler player 2. What if we keep Anor player 3?
Still me.
Still Anor. Okay.
Yeah.
What if Phaler is player 3 and Anor is player 2? Because as everyone knows, player 3 actually means player 2, and player 2 actually means player 1.
No.
Except that it doesn't. Right, right, except for the first Sunday of every month. That's true. That's true remote play. That is correct. Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, I'm a little tempted to just say we swap your names around and run it that way, with Phaler just being player 1 and Anor just being player 2. Let me just swap your names here to avoid confusion. Anor. Okay. There we go. And I guess while I'm here, I'll take you off the Fate and put you on the Dissidents, just to avoid confusion there as well. Okay. Now at least the labels are accurate. Now watch it be that as soon as the match actually starts, you guys switch places and Phaler is back to being player 2 and Anor is back to being player 1. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, Phaler, choose for me, because I chose for you, or I don't know how it works.
Don't worry about it. I would have taken the same thing. Go for it.
Alright, it is yet truly just about the same thing. It is a Prayer Bead Savage in that spot. So now, as a reminder, we at least believe that this player 1 is going to be Phaler, not Anor. Maybe some questions as to whether that's actually going to be the case once the match starts up, but in theory, this is now Phaler playing as the Nightwings here on the left side. He's going with the Triesta's Plume plane, and that's oftentimes a talisman that I feel like is undervalued. One that's not bad, but even with that being said, very rarely does anyone use it. While Anor will be going for a Speedy Harp on her side instead. Alright, so let's just take a second here. Is it true that Phaler is player 1 and Anor is player 2? I assume that is the case. In which case, that is Phaler, who has scored for the first 20 damage. And Phaler in possession here with Tamitha. Off the wall he goes, but can't find a way around the defenders. Now Anor trying to go with some off-the-wall harp action. But it is Phaler throwing it in this time with one of his savages. Good for another 20 damage, and as is often the case when you see the savages with the teleportation ability with the salute, it is a matter of timing. Both players can teleport to the orb, but if someone teleports there first, chances are whoever arrives second is going to banish the opposing player, and Phaler has timed those teleportations well, because one more score might be all that he needs here. After more savage action, although that was a pretty speedy harp play from Anor. Phaler, though, with no one back to stop him here. Time to, do a lot of things, but not enough time to get it off the wall and in here, as the trigonometry was incorrect. Anor, though, nearly pushed in by the defender, no less. Phaler still has someone next to the Pyre. Oh, that throw seemed oddly short. Anor Trying to go off the wall. Whoa! That was a long range off the wall jump. Got the angle right, of course. Stowaway. Going for it again. This time, the opposite. Got almost no distance on that jump. Failure, the angle looked good for that throw, but Anor was able to intercept it. And Anor, some serious wall bouncing action. Talk about getting the angle right. She got the angle right twice. Lined it up well, but now no one back defensively for Anor. Failure tries to go off the wall, but settles for throwing it straight in for the win.
The night wings prevail.
GG.
Their
GG.
fire burns whilst that of their adversaries is but ash. Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back, and it seems like we've at least sorted out who is player 1 and who is player 2, unless I just called that entire match saying the wrong person's name. But now, yeah, we can go back to switching to whatever triumvirate you would like. Oh, well, I mean, now I feel like you have to play the distance, Failure. You avoided it last time. It was all just an elaborate plan for Failure to avoid having to play with the distance. Alright, but now Anor... Now I don't know what Anor's going for. Is it the Chastity? Have we made up our minds?
Yeah.
Okay. Dissonance Chastity. No, bad Failure. It's Dissonance. You must take Dissonance. I got you last time. And somehow, even with that being said, you found a way to not actually play as the Dissonance, so you have to serve your time. Okay. There we go. And this is not a matchup we have seen for... I could not tell you when the last time we saw Dissonance play the Chastity was. Because these are two triumvirates that very rarely get used nowadays. And Anor turns Customize off, so that means Randomize, Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. Do we have another sermon intro here? If not, then I think we're turning that one off. But that accounts for just about everything. So let's hop in here and we will see what we end up with this time. Oh, hold on, I hear water.
The dissidents.
But it's the Fall of Solium, not the boat. For Failure, that's... Okay, 2 Nomads, 1 Savage. For a second I thought that was triple Savage. For Anor it is a Savage, a Nomad, and an Imp. So actually, somewhat similar teams here. As was the case in their previous match as well, though obviously last time they had control over what they picked. Or, in some cases, their opponent had control over what they picked. But that's just the class. We will see what we have here when it comes to Masteries and Talismans, because those things are less obvious from the onset, and it's going to take a little bit of figuring out. Things like Fairy Spirit, in the case of Failure here, so he has, at least temporarily, infinite stamina. And makes it in with Ulmer here. Lendl. Stutter Steps, but he's blocked and banished. It looks like between Failure's 2 Nomads, at least one of them has Sacred Bond, so he can step on the Fortress to bring them back. Anor has Super Portals. That is a very fast stowaway. Beyond just the infinite stamina, I wonder if she has Tailwind Crest as well. But did see Anor has the Imp Salute, as she is now demonstrating, to transform into a Howler. Not often something that we see people take, but it is fun every once in a while, right? Okay, no shoulder smash, it doesn't seem on... Couldn't catch whether that was Snadra or Lendl for Failure. Orb currently remains... No, it's not unclaimed, it's just Anor trying to find a way through her portal there. Failure close, but not quite. But now has time to set up this throw. And actually cuts it off slightly short there, 19 rather than the full 20 damage. And that could be significant because... At least we would assume Failure has a maximum of 20 damage per score here, unless he has some hidden damage, conditional damage that we've not yet seen. So that means that rather than this being a 2-score game, it is still a 3-score game for Failure.
Well cast.
Meanwhile, Anor through that portal with her super speedy stowaway, who plunges in here for 20. She is gone, as she does not have prayer beads. Lendl down. But brought back. Here he is. He has Shoulder Smash. And He makes it in. 20 damage, that means Nor holding on with 21. As we were saying just moments ago, presumably that means even if Phaler is to score again, Nor would likely still survive with potentially as little as 1 Pyre life, but don't think it's possible for Phaler to get this in just one go, unless he has some secret weapon that we've yet to see. Here is a 20 damage plunge, and it is, as we anticipated, exactly 1 Pyre life for Nor. Now, of course, there's always a chance that someone has an unexpected source of rekindling. So, does Nor have a second life bar? It's possible, and we're about to find out here. Unless Phaler, gets a little greedy, tries to rub it in with the BM salute, but now suddenly the tables have turned. And rather than Phaler potentially taking the win, it is a Nor throwing it in for 20. A no for Phaler. Banished. And Nor also with that Sacred Brawn brings back the Stowaway. Phaler picks up the Infinite Stamina. And no one back defensively, so does still go for the salute. And no rekindling, so that is the winning score. GG.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note. Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right, well played, you two. Now let's head on back and let us know, chat,
Till the stars align.
if there's anything we would like to see for the next one. If not, we will at the very least turn Customize back on. But that was interesting. I mean, quite similar teams, even though we had the Customize turned off there. Both from an Exile class standpoint, and even Masteries to a certain extent. But yeah, also no Cursed Talismans, or at least none that we could tell, right? And that's a rarity with Customize turned off.
I think Phaler had Titan Tooth on his Savage.
Titan Tooth on the Savage? Ooh.
No, Fairy Spirit on Savage, definitely.
Oh yeah. Titan Tooth on someone though.
Alright, well, not seeing any requests for this one, so it looks like we might be in for just a simple, straightforward, take whatever you'd like here.
The dissidents
We're on the book.
shall confront the chastity. Welcome.
And no requests, as we were just saying.
Conduct the rites.
So up to you to go in whatever direction you please here. Phaler is, of course, playing as the Dissidents. And so he's leading off with his team captain, Barker. And that was a Titan Tooth, so whether he had it or not last time, not sure we were able to confirm, but no doubt this time round, he will stun whoever he jumps into with Barker. So 1 Cur for Phaler, answered by 1 Titan Tooth Cur from a Nor. We have at times seen Phaler go with triple Cur on this arena. That will not be the case this time, as instead he takes an Imp here. And Anor goes for a power casting, shoulder smashing headwind. Might make Phaler a little hesitant to come jumping in with those Curs, because here's Cur
No, it
number
doesn't
2.
make me a little hesitant. What are you talking about, man?
Phaler is unfazed. We'll see if Hedwin has anything to say about that. Here is a speedy Jodariel to finish things off for Anor. And it is the original trio, in fact, from Anor. And there is a double Titan Tooth, getting us off to a slow start as both players stunned early. And it is Phaler getting us started by hopping in here for 20 with one of those curs. That cur was Barker, and he had the Titan Tooth, so he is not back in this round. Speaking of Titan Tooth, oh, it sets up an opportunity for Headwind to get the double banishments. Throws it in for 20, and also has 10 leech as well, so net 30-point play there. More double Titan Tooth. Anor first to win the orb back here. Jody trying to knock back the defenders, but instead goes straight in. That's another 30-point plunge, though this time pure damage, no leech. Now no Jodariel, though, for Anor. Both players stunned, although Phaler still in possession here. Tries to loop around and nearly does, but that time Phaler's stunned, while Anor was not. Sonora, as the only player able to move, has an uncontested 20 damage plunge. Titan Tooth stunned, though, this time has Anor frozen, while Phaler can still move, so he returns the favor. Now we see both players adapting a little bit here. Rather than starting off with the double Titan Tooth stun, some adjustments being made. Phaler finds an opening, though. So that's good for another 20 damage from that cur plunge, and Phaler's still at full strength here, as that was his Prayer Beads cur, but now Phaler getting stunned while Anor is not. That means 20 damage from Anor, and Phaler now down at 10 Pyre life, means one more score would be all that Anor needs, but Phaler is not done yet. That's another 20 damage from him. Still at full strength here. Anor momentarily stunned by Titan Tooth. Phaler might have had just enough time to make it in there, but was a little bit hesitant with the shoulder-smashing Headwind hanging out. But it's Phaler, once again, dropping Anor down to 45. Phaler can only damage in increments of 20 at most, which means even after this one, he still needs 2, whereas Anor could finish this with 1. Getting closer, but we are seeing a double Titan Tooth stun once again. That time, though, Phaler the only one stunned. Anor trying to capitalize, but not quick enough. Phaler able to recover, and now on the attack here. He plunges, and now it is a one-score game for either player. Sudden death match. Phaler, with one less character, though, gives Anor just enough room to make it in for the win.
Not at all.
You could say they managed to avoid defeat.
GG.
The rite is done.
All right, well played, you two. And let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
All right, so let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to do for the next one. Otherwise, we can just have the players take whatever they'd like, as was the case in that previous match. Not seeing anything initially here, though. So unless anyone has any last-minute requests here, perhaps we will go back to letting the players take whatever they choose. So let's do it.
The dissidents shall take on the chastity. Welcome.
Alright, so no requests.
Who shall conduct the rites?
You can take whatever you'd like. We'll see what that means for both players here. As we did not see any savages last time, that will not be the case here, as Phaler goes for a quick throwing Almer. And Anor goes for a speedy, saluting Prayer Beads Pamitha. Wed Lanthorn Raji, Phaler's second selection. Now Titan Tooth on Dalbert for Nor. Speedy Bertrude is the final choice for Phaler. Valinor goes Wet Lanthorn Tizo.
Now begin.
When Phaler significantly delayed the teleportation to the orb, could have done it right off the bat, which I think Nor was expecting, but that hesitation might have thrown her a little bit off guard here. Now Nor in possession though, banished, and Phaler once again with Ulmer. Throw intercepted. Nor does have the portal, though it doesn't take her far. Titan Tooth stunned, although Phaler quickly switched out of that stun. Ulmer blocked, banished. Nor accidentally into the lava with a Dalbert. Though he returns quickly here, and it is Pamitha on the attack. And might have had the angle to make it all the way in there, but did not choose to go that route. Phaler on the counterattack, his throw is intercepted. Nor. Pamitha blocked. And now banished. Phaler with Ulmer once again. Throw intercepted once again. And Nor did have an exile near Phaler's Pyre, but that exile was quickly banished. Now Bertrude for Phaler. Sneaks under the defender and straight in for a 30 damage plunge. Little reverse psychology on that occasion. Ulmer's throw intercepted, and Nor had that exile close to Phaler's Pyre. That exile did have a Titan Tooth to stun Phaler, so even though he did switch to block initially, on the second attempt, Nor able to throw it in for 15. Ulmer's throw intercepted once more. Pamitha on the move, but by herself at the moment, waiting for her teammates to return, and they do, but then, Pamitha goes down, and Phaler has found himself stuck in the corner with Ulmer. But that doesn't stop him from making it in with his Crone for a 30 damage plunge. I assume that was unintended. I know occasionally people will do that on purpose, but it did not seem like there was much reason to do it on that occasion, at least. Nor currently with just Tizo, at least until Dalbert makes his return, and he is the Titan Tooth exile. Although the orb happens to bounce back onto Phaler's exile, slowing Nor down, but does still have an opportunity to throw it in for 20 with Pamitha. And Nor with just 20 Pyre left, of course, means one more score, potentially all that Phaler would need here. He is on the attack. And uses his Crone Salute, in fact, and Nor defenseless. So Phaler finishes the job.
GG.
They brushed aside
GG.
their adversaries without too much trouble. The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. And let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
All right, now let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see us do for the next one. Otherwise, as always, we could just have the players take whatever they want. That does work as well. Okay, and Blood Princess, how's it going, has come in to turn Customize off. I agree. We've had too long with the players choosing their own team. That's ridiculous. No. Why would we ever let them do that? So randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans. Could still do arena, could still do song if either of those are of interest, but otherwise, just about everything is accounted for here. And not immediately seeing those, so we'll go in with the customize off, and we will see what we end up with here. Last time, it was very similar teams on both sides with the customized off. It's Isle of Kalamer for the location. It is Demon, Harp, and Nomad, I believe, for Phaler. It is Demon, Sap, and Kerr for Nor. Neither demon is Orlek, just your standard demons. A Black Claw. We did not see any Cursed Talismans on the previous customized off match, and that is an oddity. So good to see things are back to the usual this time around, although Phaler, I'm sure, is not pleased to see that of all the characters who cannot cast, it is Snadra, who is, you know, casting is generally one of her specialties. So of all the characters to have that disadvantage, that's not the one that Phaler would like to see. Here is Snadra, though, and that doesn't stop her from scoring. Demon versus Demon. Phaler wins out on that duel, but loses out to the Sapling, ultimately. Now everyone down on Anora's side, although it appears as though Volfred must have Numbing Gust. Slows Phaler down, but he does apparently have Kerfang, giving him an extra 8 damage whenever his Tamitha plunges. Phaler now knows he needs to be careful about banishing all of Anora's exiles, because if he does that, he'll be unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any of their special abilities, but that time makes it straight in with Ignarius. No prayer beads on him, so he's now gone for this round. Here's Snadra once again, though. She's banished. Now momentarily Phaler is defenseless. Anor just barely eludes the defender, at least initially, with Dalbert there, and whoa, that is some pretty serious range on Tamitha's cast for Phaler. Wonder if there might be some talismans supporting that play. Brazen Manor, Nor has time to get it off. So 40 damage on that demon throw. Both players at full strength in this round now. Phaler, well, now both players down one demon. Snadra's inability to cast, though, does make things a little bit tricky for Phaler. And that means a little bit easier for Nor to make it through here with her Kerr. Demon versus Demon once more. Causing some chaos. Nor with his Paleth loses out to that duel. Numbing Gust active. That's not enough to stop Phaler from getting another Kerfang plunge here for 28 damage, and that extra damage is significant, because now it is possible for Phaler to finish this with one score, if it is a demon score, but Phaler defenseless, Anor once again potentially with time for the Brazen Manor. Oh, except might have had time for the Brazen Manor, only if she went for the plunge, though did not have time to set up the salute and also throw. Ultimately, had to choose one or the other, and in going for both, ended up with getting no score at all. Anor tries to block the throw there, not quite able to intercept, though, before the orb hit the target, and so Phaler's still able to score, and now one score, potentially all he needs, unless Anor has 10 rekindling. So second life bar revealed for Anor, it is 10. But that means one more score for Phaler surely would do the trick. Anor with just Dalbert back defensively, and that is not his specialty. Phaler trying to fake him out, but fortunately for Anor, Vizpleth has returned. One of Phaler's attackers falls into her aura. Now it is Anor on the attack. Some combination of Volfred and Dalbert. But both go down. Vizpleth returns defensively. So once again, more demon versus demon. For Phaler, doesn't need to be picky. Just about anything would do. In fact, could even be a partial damage throw, and that would probably be sufficient in most circumstances. But needs to find a way to break through, and was unable to do so on that occasion. Meanwhile, Anor, as we have seen her do on one and almost two occasions, potentially can get 40 damage from her demon, but Vizpleth banished. And now she's going to have to settle for less than that, and now Phaler finds an opportunity to plunge in for the win. GG.
Conducted victory it was. The rite is ended.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
until the stars align.
that's a good emoji. Okay, well, hold on. Hold your, well, no, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. No, not with the direction I was going with that. We have 3 worms. 3 worms is the exile's request. 3 worms is the exile's request, and not just that. Talisman request for no vengeful vow, and we are on the boat. All right, this is a core special. A Nor throwing in an additional talisman request on top of that says no Titan Tooth allowed. Blood Princess turning on the sermon intro. We're doing everything. We're doing everything for this one. Throw on that sermon intro. I am not even going to try to do that myself with whoever this is doing the figure 8s. Knights of the Sea for the song. Mastery's request as well. No stunning claim or greater cleave. Must take quick draw. Okay, we might need to refer back to this list of requests when we're actually in the setup screen, because it's growing quite long and it is perhaps getting a little difficult to keep track of / remember all of those things.
Exiles, you stand upon the hulk of Horus. At stake here in this rite is your salvation. We soon shall see who is the most deserving. Dissonance, stand ready. The chastity, stand prepared. The rite
All right.
shall begin forthwith.
So yes, Titan Stars only affect player 2. Let me know if either of you need to get a reminder for what all the requests were, because there were a lot of them. There were a couple of talisman bans, right? There were a couple of mastery bans, and class-wise, everything is a worm. Fortunately, we have the scribe snuff, so if anyone misclicks on the masteries, we can fix that. It's Deluge in the lead for Phaler. So what with both players taking the first mastery on either side and triple worms, I guess that's not guaranteed that they'll do that for every single worm. I'd have to double check what the bans were, if it's even possible for them to avoid taking the first master on either side. But my point is, with triple worms, with all that, we might very well see a bit of Infiniworms here for the first time in a very long time, and Bright Wisp, the automatic passing orb, I believe we saw Phaler take it with his first exile, and Anor considering taking it here. He's one of my personal favorites for that specific setup. Mostly a question between Vigorous Slash and Heroic Stand. All right. Worm number 1, locked in for both players. You know, technically they both picked the wrong lead, but it's supposed to be Gilman. But we'll give them a pass on this occasion. Does also mean that, technically speaking, if I'm being a stickler, They put the wrong talisman, or they can no longer put the correct talisman on Gilman, because he's supposed to be the lead. He's supposed to have the Bright Wisp. He is not the lead, and both players have already taken Bright Wisp. So, you know, if I'm being critical, I would note that.
Sir Gilman.
Taylor goes for the speedy Gilman. Balnor goes for the big casts with the Thorned Knot. And it's Lady River in the final spot for Phaler, of course, and, well, I mean, again, if I'm being critical, these later talisman selections are, I don't want to say they're wild, but they're wrong. They're objectively wrong. There's a correct way to play Infiniworms, and this is not it. This is not it. Make no mistake. Though it is good to see the triple worms on both sides for the first time in a very, very long time. I could not tell you when last we saw this. But it is Phaler getting us started with a 13 damage worm throw. Lady River for Nor. Back to Deluge. There is the Bright Wisp. Phaler almost with enough time to get his throw off, but Anor able to get the banishment first. Anor now on the attack. Blocked.
The orb is up.
Phaler with it back though, and with only one exile, that means he gets the infinite stamina. Gets the speed boost and makes it in for 15 damage on that plunge, but oh man, what a shame that he wasn't able to get Lady River back from banishment because he didn't put the correct talisman prayer beads on her. It's okay, he was able to score nonetheless on the next round, and here he is once again, plunging in for 15. And Phaler with some serious momentum here. Worm plunge after worm plunge, using that extra speed. This time looping around to the far side, and if at first you don't succeed, try again and plunge for another 15, and now one more score from Phaler would be all he would need. Nearly had it there. Infinite stamina, not fast enough though. But here is the Infiniworms. I mean, we couldn't have triple worms without seeing at least a little bit of Infiniworms, and Or, meanwhile, tried to create a wall of worm auras to prevent Phaler from walking it in. Phaler says, oh, I don't mind. I'm just gonna go full speed ahead straight into that wall and let my infinite stamina worms have a little bit of fun with it until, potentially, I might surprise you with a little bit of a curveball at some point when you least expect it. Except Anor does have it back here. Phaler, though, trying once more. Anor with Lady River and Deluge. Deluge unsuccessful. Phaler with infinite stamina on Gilman, speeds in for the win.
The dissidents prevailed. Was as though
GG.
the scribes themselves stood by their side. The ceremony.
Excuse me. Hold on. One moment. This is important. This is important. One moment. One moment. I assure you, this is important. I can't remember if I'm doing the syntax correct here, but we're gonna try. There we go. How dare you!
Until the stars align.
just for a couple minutes. Well, let us know, chat, if there's anything you would like to see for the next one. We will not tolerate any worm slander. We'll reset ourselves to our defaults, but let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Also, for what it's worth, the objectively correct setup for Infiniworms is Gilman slot 1, Bright Wisp, Deluge slot 2 with either the Exploding Talisman, or technically that's the one slot where you have some Talisman flexibility. Third slot is Lady River with Prayer Beads. That is the correct setup. Anything else is wrong. All right, and we do have Customize Off from Anor. And Boat as well. We could still do a song, but otherwise, that accounts for basically everything. Also, for what it's worth, oddly enough, the Boat is actually arguably the worst map for worms, despite it being their home arena of sorts. Alright, so let's see what random Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans we get here.
The dissidents shall take on...
And will they work well in the Boat? Well, for Phaler, he at least has one demon, as does Anor. And you know, sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Now begin. There.
It's Jodariel in both cases, for what it's worth. So not Orlek, just your standard demon. As well as a Harp and a Sap for Phaler. And 2 Imps in the case of Anor. And I think I saw that was a super portal for Anor. Didn't have time to see if she had Brazen... Oh, she did have Brazen Manor. Interestingly, after Jodariel was banished, the words Brazen Manor popped up next to her Pyre. Not next to where Jodariel got banished, but I saw Brazen Manor show up. I do believe Jodariel has it for Anor. Unless that was Phaler who had a Jodariel that happened to be next to Anor's Pyre that I didn't notice that was activating Brazen Manor. Whoa, okay, that's a random quarterback Volfred. That is cursed. That is cursed. This match is officially completely cursed. But that's also an infinite stamina speedy Jodariel, which is terrifying. Tamitha for Phaler. Ooh, elusive. Finds a way through here, plunging for 20. Also, please spam your thrash packs in chat. Jody for Phaler. Stopped. In fact, well, takes out Anor's last defender. Whoa! Anor with a big jump. No orb, though, so not much she could do with that big jump. Meanwhile, Phaler nearly shields off the defender. There we go. There are the thrash packs, and there is the 38 damage plunge from Jodariel, and that's without the effect of Brazen Manor, so theoretically, Anor could get up to 48 damage in one plunge with Jody, if I'm not mistaken here. Oh, and if that imp had auto-exploding capabilities, might have gotten a triple banishment there, as Phaler had all of his exiles close by. But instead, Phaler at least had a little while there where Anor did not have any defenders, but the imps come back. Jody is gone for good in this round, but there is Kerfang. So extra damage on the imp plunge. Whoa! Anor's Jody is getting some serious airtime here, but never in the right circumstance, as she has not had the orb when she does that. Although, oh, the rare Brazen Manor banishment, as Anor was doing the salute, got rid of what would have been the most dangerous defender, although Jody does eventually go down. That was a lightning fast harp from Phaler. As in general, this has been a very fast-paced match. Phaler plunging for 30 with his Jody.
show of strength from the Chastity's brothers.
Tamitha gets rid of Jody and tries to do it herself, but she is banished. And some speedy boat magic assistance to help Tizo. He is stopped. Brazen Manor active on Jody. Honor's thinking about it. Has a portal. Or could go for the jump. Which one does she choose? Uses the portal, but gets dispossessed. Taylor now, blocked. Honor has it back. Through the portal she goes, but now it is just Tizo. Raji makes his return. But now just Raji for Honor against just Volfred for Phaler, at least until Tamitha makes her return. Which she has now done. Volfred stopped. So Honor through the portal, then nearly had a clean route to Phaler's Pyre, but unsuccessful on that attempt. Jody sets up the Brazen Manor, but has to get the orb back here. Now has it. Portal does take her close to Phaler's Pyre. Banishes one defender, but the whole sapling spawns in right next to Jody and prevents Honor from getting what I believe would have been a 48 damage plunge. Almost able to get the second attempt there using her imp going through the portal, but Phaler back in time to stop it. And Phaler quick enough with the harp counterattack here to plunge for 20. Demon versus Demon. Phaler's Jotariel is the one who wins out there, but she's quickly banished afterward. And now Phaler defenseless. Honor sets up a portal. Brings an imp through that portal with infinite stamina, but once again, there's one critical missing piece, that piece being the orb. Which neither player has picked up until now, at least. Speedy Jody, after getting that infinite stamina, reactivates the Brazen Manor, goes back through the portal. And this is a scary sight for Phaler to behold, as she does banish one of the defenders, but Phaler gets his Jody back just in time. Trying to cause some trouble with her, but gets banished. Honor's Jody back in possession. Reactivates Brazen Manor, here it is. Blocked by one defender, and now banished by the second. Jody for Phaler. Banishes one defender. Honor now with no defenders at all. Phaler has extra damage, and it is enough to finish the job.
The dissidents prevailed.
GG.
And what a crushing victory it was. The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. That was a fun one. Whenever we get the... I mean, any demons on the boat are always... there's potential for some serious action.
Until the next rite.
I also liked Blood Princess's animated emote there. Felt like it was nodding its head to the beat of Thrashback, which was also really fitting. Alright, but we will reset here, unless of course there's anything that you would like to see for the next one. Oh, that's true. That I know that bans gets rid of it, but I didn't remember if timeouts do it too. Well, actually, technically, you can participate in bets now, which you could not do before, but you can no longer create them yourself. But he is back. He is back, and hopefully he has learned from his mistakes, his previous crimes against worms. Phaler. Don't tempt fate. It was a measly 100 seconds last time. It could be a lot more. Alright, Blood Princess comes in, though, with the Exile's request. And it's the original three. Original three. So Jodariel, Hedwyn, and Ruki. And Honor comes in with the song request that is functionally the one for those three. Ridge of Gold. By some accounts, the first arena, I mean, you can make the case that it's actually the book. but a little bit of a recreation here of the first rite, it would seem, is the idea. And that covers most of the things, so unless anyone has anything else, we'll jump in here.
The dissidents shall confront the chastity. Welcome.
Alright, so it is the original trio.
Who shall
That much we
conduct?
know, from a character standpoint. From a mastery and talisman standpoint, that much is yet to be determined. Phaler goes prayer beads on Rookie. That'll be his lead. So he goes the offensive route initially. Whereas in Honora's case, she goes the defensive route with a power casting Headwind as her lead. So, unstoppable force versus immovable object. At least in the first spot. We'll have to see how that duel plays out. Well, Phaler goes for a meta, quick throwing, vanishing throws, Jodariel. Oh, yes, okay. I am not, well, we're gonna have to reset to avoid this, aren't we? Because Honor, with the customize off, last time you had Kerfang on one of your exiles for extra damage, and then it must have been the, I'm blanking out on the name, but the one that reduces hope, but gives you 8 extra damage on Jody.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to remove the usually what would be Titan Star's hangover effect, but on this occasion, Astral Eye hangover effect. Because yeah, Nor actually had 2 exiles with extra 8 damage in the previous customize off match. And Phaler, I think, had one as well.
The chastity.
Alright, so I suppose it is an opportunity for the players to change their minds here if they had any second thoughts about what they had selected thus far, but Phaler at least sticks with what he had before. Prayer Beads Rookie. And Honor continues to use the power casting Headwind. Phaler continues to use the same team here, the meta Jody, and Honor was seemingly going to use Jody in that second spot before. Her hangover effects should be fixed now, but might instead opt for a canned Singularity Rookie, and rather than taking the extra 5 damage, took the lucky break for the quicker respawn time. So maybe that was the logic there, as Phaler rounds out the team with the power casting Headwind. And Honor's last exile we know will be Jody. Does not go the Celestial Spike route though. Instead goes the speed with Tailwind Crest. Alright, so here we go. Despite the players having the same exiles, the Masteries and Talismans has made their setup quite different. Phaler getting a start with a quick 6 damage throw. That throw attempt, though, intercepted. The second attempt from Phaler goes the plunging route and does make it in for 20. And he took Prayer Beads on Rookie, so he is back. And he is back in for another 20 damage plunge. Headwind versus Headwind. Both players trying to get some banishments to get rid of some of those defenders and create some space to do things like this. Plunge in for 20. No prayer beads on Headwind though, so he was gone for that round, though that doesn't stop Rookie from making it back in here. And he does have prayer beads, so Phaler's still at full strength. Rookie for Honor, suddenly the only exile she has remaining. But his lucky break will bring him back quickly. Jodariel has returned, and now Headwind has as well, although Phaler finds a gap in the defense. Phaler off to a very quick start, and in fact, at least a Jody plunge, or a full damage throw, would be enough for him. But Honor, throws in for 20, and with Headwind also gets 10 leech, so that is no longer possible for Phaler to finish this with 1 score. Headwind taken out, though. Rookie by himself. And found some space and enough of it to make it in, but as we were saying before, Nor went for less damage, but quicker respawn, so just 15 rather than 20 on that occasion, and no prayer beads for her because she took the can singularity, so she is without Rookie in this round. And that is one of the big differences we were talking about. And this would have been the deciding score if not for the leech that Nor got a round or two ago from Headwind. But now 1 score would be all that Phaler needs, unless she can get even more leech from Headwind. Now, does she try to force the issue? Well, Phaler applying a lot of pressure here. Misses the initial throw, and nearly enough time for Nor to make a recovery, but Phaler able to get the deciding throw.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright, well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, so heads up. Nora's saying she's good for a couple more, and then we'll probably be looking to swap out. So if there's anyone else in chat who would like to participate, we will likely be looking to get you in the relatively near future. But let us, in the meantime, reset back to our defaults here, and let us know if there is anything we'd like to see for the last 1 or 2 matches here between Phaler and Nor. Not seeing anything here, though, so this one looks like it'll just be the players take whatever they want. Oh, hold on. Hold on, though. Hold on, though. That does not mean that this is a quote-unquote normal rite. I'm afraid not. Because this time, we are back on the boat. And we shall see the extent to which the players choose to embrace the chaos or largely ignore it. Boat magic galore. Beautiful sight to see. There goes the saluting route with a speedy Tamitha. Prayer beads on her as well. While Lenore takes Bright Wisp on the stowaway. She's up to something. Phaler goes Titan Tooth on Jodariel, so Jody will stun anyone that she jumps into, and there's a lot of jumping on the boat. Or maybe showing her cards a little bit here. Starts to set up a big Ignarius Brazen Manor setup, but instead goes for Pamitha. As for whether we will see Ignarius on a later occasion, that remains to be seen. Now Phaler with Typhoon Bottle on a second demon, so if everyone is banished on his side, then Anor will be unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any other special abilities. As we were saying before, Anor had started to set up a greedy Ignarius, maximum damage, or at least maximum leech with that Brazen Manor plus 50% leech. So a potential nets 60-point play if Ignarius is to get that combo off. And we'll see if Anor has the opportunity to make it happen. But here is Phaler. And making some moves with Tamitha, but unable to connect. With the Pyre, at least. There's the Bright Wisp passing the orb back. Helping to set up, perhaps, the Brazen Manor play that Anor was looking for, because there was Ignarius. He did have Brazen Manor, but he was banished. Phaler comes in with a Demon Plunge of his own. Though no Brazen Manor on that occasion, so just 30 damage. Going the Stowaway, sneaks under the defender, good for 20, although Phaler took a bunch of extra starting Pyre life, so he's still sitting on 150 even after that score. And he's quick here with Tamitha, plunging for 20 with her. And she is back because she had Prayer Beads. Bright Wisp activating from the Stowaway again, passing the orb back. Iggy gets the Brazen Manor going. Here is Iggy. If he's quick, he can score a whole lot, but he's dispossessed. Wins it back. Has them was activating the Brazen Manor, but it is not the easiest thing to do that safely. So instead, Anor settles for a plunge from her harp. Good for 20 here. And did have Prayer Beads on Tamitha, so she is back, and now it's the Stowaway. Plunging for 20. Obviously, that means she does not have Prayer Beads. She is going to be gone for this round. Iggy with the Brazen Manor. And actually banishes the defender there. Phaler was trying to banish her before Iggy could finish that combo, but was unable to do so. Phaler is back in possession, though. Iggy getting some banishments. And now he does have time if he were to go the Brazen Manor route, but instead, looking to go a little more direct. But he's blocked. Banishes one defender. Phaler wins it back, though. He leaps. He gets blocked, but he has the Titan Tooth, Phaler does. Slows Anor down, and that gives Phaler time to get in for 30 here. And Anor down at 20 Pyre life means Phaler might be able to finish this with one score. However, remember, Anor can get 30 leech in one play if she can get a score from Ignarius. So even when Anor is on low Pyre life, she has the potential to get a whole lot back very quickly. It is not an easy combo to pull off. But if she can, that would make a huge difference. But here is Phaler, and that is game.
The dissidents prevail.
GG.
'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
Well played, you two.
The rite is ended.
Boat magic indeed. Alright, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And it sounded like Anor was saying this would probably be her last one. So just a heads up, if there is anyone in chat who is interested in getting in, we will be looking to get you in quite soon, in all likelihood. And Anor is making some requests for this last one. Exiles and Talismans. Meaning Discord bot. Okay. Discord randomizer? Let's see. Break it out. Okay, so Phaler got Bertrude with the Neeland Leech, Tizo with Ashen Coal, Tamitha with Solium's Horn, which he's gonna have to switch out, which he does, and gets Blackheart. Cursed Talisman, even here in the Discord bot, we still get the Cursed Talismans. Oh, that was from last week. Oh, my bad. This time round, it's Gareth with Flame Leech. Okay, amazing, obviously. Barker with Aub's Wing. That is the legendary talisman that will need to get swapped out. Deluge with Righteous Flame. He will need to swap out one of those talismans. And he'll get Prayer Beads on Barker, that means. So that's actually quite solid from Phaler. And taking a look at Honor's side, she got double Lady River, so that's gonna have to get re-rolled. And Solium's okay, well, a bunch of things that need to get re-rolled for Honor. Needs to re-roll the talisman on the stowaway. So let's see. She's swapping out one of those Lady Rivers with Udmilda. Not sure which. I guess she's keeping the first Lady River with the runed band. Was it double ring? Double ring Lady River from a randomizer? That's crazy. The same exile getting both of the rings. And now it really does not want to give Honor a different talisman for the stowaway. It is convinced that the stowaway is a demon. Now it is convinced that the stowaway is sap. And that the stowaway is a cur. Okay, Typhoon Bottle. Typhoon Bottle does work. Typhoon Bottle. Wow. That is that's pretty crazy. how many failed randomizers we had. Repeats and talismans that are ineligible on the exiles that they were supposed to be paired with. Okay. Well, the stowaway really wanted to be a demon, a sap, a legendary talisman of some variety, just not the savage legendary talisman.
The dissidents shall take on the chastity. Welcome.
All right, so we have the characters and we have the talismans. And or I assume that people are supposed to take those characters in the order that they appeared. Is that right? So was Gareth first for yes? Okay, order they appeared. So that does mean Gareth first.
Exile.
He has the leech. For Honor, it was, well, double Lady River. Really, I mean, one Lady River got one of the rings, the other got the other ring. So, you know, I guess take your pick. It doesn't really matter which one you select, I suppose. Maybe the runed band is more thematically fitting color scheme-wise. All right, now for Phaler. Next on the list was Barker, who I think he had to re-roll the talisman on, but eventually gave him a prayer beads, which I'm sure Phaler was pleased to see. Second one from Honor was Udmilda. And she will take the Crone Salute to transform Phaler's exiles into defenseless howlers. Oh, wait, did you really get the second? I did not even realize that you got the second ring on her.
I got both rings, yeah.
So you got rings multiple times, because you also got it both times on the Lady River that got repeated. That's a ridiculous combination of things that the randomizer gave us.
Deluge.
All right, there's Leech on Deluge is the final option for Phaler. And for Honor, it was the Stowaway who just really wanted a legendary talisman. Really wanted a legendary talisman, but instead is going to have to settle for the Typhoon Bottle. All right, so here we go. Randomized teams for both players.
Now begin.
Honor with Udmilda, blocked, banished. Phaler with Barker, narrowly avoids banishment and makes it in for 20, and as we were saying before, has prayer beads. So he'll be back. Phaler quickly teleports with Gareth and hops in here for 20. Ever so stylish. Barker by himself here. But that doesn't stop him from making it in. Gareth again. Ooh, couldn't quite avoid the banishment on that occasion. Now it is Udmilda. She's blocked. Reclaims the orb, though. But Gareth respawns just in time to stop her. Barker back in. That drops Nor down to just 20. So one score, potentially all that Phaler needs here. But I believe both players actually have an exile with Leech, do they not? Well, not that it'll make much of a difference here as Phaler plunges in for the final score.
What a crushing victory it was.
GG.
The rite is complete.
I will go now. Thanks for the rights.
All right. Thanks for stopping by,
Yeah,
Nor.
GG's.
Good to have you as always.
Good to be here.
Until the stars align.
All right. So Nor is swapping out. That means we do need someone else to jump in and take her spot. So let us know if there's anyone who is interested and available to do so. Phaler, how are you doing? Are you good to stick around? Do you need someone to swap in for you?
I can stick around for a bit.
Okay. So it looks like in that case we're looking for just one here. Top in for some matches against Phaler. So let us know if we have any takers. Core says he can join unless Blood Princess wants to. I don't know, Blood Princess. Do you want to jump in? All right, let me get you the invite then. Let's see, where'd you go? Why are you not showing up? Huh? Are you not currently logged in?
I was offline, I should show up now.
There you are, yeah, okay. Did that go through? I think that's sent. Hopefully that's sent. Okay. Alright, so that means we have Phaler and we have Core here. So let us know if there's anything you'd like to see between those two. Or if we want to give Core a chance to warm up here. Let me swap around our names. Going with the Beyonders today, Core?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Halloween.
I mean, like last week was a little. I would argue last week was more the Halloween week, but you know, if you want to do it this time around, that's fair enough. And are the Beyonders? Well, I mean, they are ghosts. So by that measure, they are, in some ways, the spookiest of teams. Color scheme wise, they're sort of transparent a little bit, so they are more ghostly in that way. And if you take two of the same class, the second one gets spooky black raiments, which especially for some of the exiles, like the harps in particular, can be pretty intimidating. But I think that the dissidents have very good color scheme for Halloween as well. We've definitely had this discussion in prior years. So let us know if there's anything we'd like to see between these two. Not seeing anything at the moment. So perhaps we will give Core the chance to have a simple, straightforward warm-up match. It's very merciful. Very merciful from chat today.
The dissidents shall confront.
Alright, well, it is the Isle of Calamer.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And no requests, so it is up to you to take whatever you'd like here. I don't know, we were talking about some Halloween and spooky stuff. As I was saying, last week we kind of did a little bit of Halloween-themed stuff, but just so happens that both players here are taking perhaps the best teams color scheme-wise for doing some Halloween-y stuff. We'll see if they happen to go that direction. In Phaler's case, I think if you're trying to maximize the Halloween color scheme, you, for the most part, just take the first exile of each class, and I don't necessarily know if you want to double down, whereas for core, if you do double down in a certain class, then I think the second one does get a very interesting color palette. So he'll go Snadra. And it is a Fell Swoop Tamitha. Remember, you could always Scribe Snuff if you didn't like the masteries you chose, and you still want to stick with Ignarius. He'll go with a speedy Jodariel. And he just core first to the orb here. First to get banished, and then the Snadras banish each other. Tamitha for Phaler. Around one defender and in. Plunging for 20.
There goes Tamitha.
Gilman causing a little bit of trouble. Does go down as well. Snadra and Jody. And Gilman emerging, and Gilman throwing it in for 10. Wall of Imps blocking core from the orb a little bit there, so Phaler able to get there first, but double shoulder smash from the Snadras jumping into each other. Everyone down on core side brings back Gilman, and he speeds ahead, setting up a 10 damage throw. He's speeding toward the orb here again. Looking for an opening, but that throw looked off target. Does get a couple of banishments, but Phaler is back in possession, at least until his final exile is banished, and now suddenly, time for core to throw this in for 30. Phaler with Tamitha. Nearly some sneaky plays there, trying to go under the defender or throw it around them, but couldn't quite make it work, and does eventually get banished. Phaler back with Snadra. Shoulder smashes a defender and shoulder smashes another defender until eventually core Snadra returns and cancels out Phaler's Snadra. Gilman for core. As core trying to break out from next to his Pyre. As Phaler has been applying some continued pressure and does win the orb back close to core's Pyre, setting up a quick plunge there. So the pressure paid off. Snadra, though, trying to exact some revenge for core, getting some banishments, but does go down before she can take advantage of them. Tamitha. Sneaky. Maneuvers around the defenders and in for 20. Snadra taken out by Gilman, and Gilman now on the attack. His throw does make it in there. Good for the full 15. Gilman again. Only gives it up to Snadra, and Snadra plunges for 20 and also leeches 10 back for Phaler as well. That means we are actually tied up at 55 apiece here. Jody knocks back one defender. Makes it all the way in. Good for 30, and that means one more of those would be enough for core, but did not have prayer beads on Jody, so she is not in for this round. And as we've seen before, Phaler does have some leech potential with his Snadra, who is hanging out next to Core's Pyre. Moved her a little bit, though, and down she goes. So it might be more difficult for Phaler to get that leech on this occasion. In that case, he just settles for the 20 damage plunge. No leech on that occasion. And now that Jody is back, it is possible in this round for Core to finish this one. Yeoman gets sent flying. Tamitha. Blocked. Here is Jody, Core's most dangerous character on this occasion. She's taken out. Yeoman banishes the last of Phaler's defenders. Opportunity for him here then. He throws for 15, and that's not enough to take Phaler out, but it does now mean that any of Core's characters would have enough damage. And Snadra's score, leeching back some Pyre life for Phaler, is less impactful. This throw could be the decider, and it is.
The Beyonders prevail.
GG.
Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all. The rite is done.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Went better than I thought it would from Nomad first.
Until the next
It's a
rite.
close one.
Nomad first is good, bro.
All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for this next one. Otherwise, of course, we can just have the players take whatever they'd like. That choice, though, is up to you. But I'm not seeing anything at the moment, so unless we have any last-minute requests here, it looks like... Oh, hold on! We do. And it's a significant one at that. It is turning Customize off from Manor. So randomize Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans. Anything else on top of that? Arena, song-wise, or is that all? Seems like that's it. So let's jump in.
The dissidents shall take
It is the
on
Pit of Malith.
the
For Phaler, it is Nomad, Savage, Cur. For Core, it is Crone, Demon, and Worm. It's pretty different from an Exile's standpoint. At least at first glance, we'll have to see what else we can learn about these setups. As Core goes bouncing off the walls. Don't see it that often with the Crones, but as you can see there, sometimes it can work. Sets up an 11 damage throw on that occasion. Phaler can teleport to the orb, although, ooh, that was a big cast from Bertrude for Core. And that means time for this unblockable Crone throw and full 30 damage on that occasion. Oh, and... Oh! Wait. Core has infinite stamina on his Crone? Does he have double rings actually working? Wait, what? Or was that the curse talisman? How did he get that? Well, he has banished all of Phaler's exiles.
I had the little fairy spirit.
Oh, okay, a moon drop
Demon,
that he
or
picked
someone
up.
had it.
Gotcha. Didn't see the moon drop, because obviously we just saw that Core has Leech on his Crone from the talisman, so clearly it is not one of the rings. Phaler, though, applying enough pressure to banish all of Core's exiles. Although, ooh, a little bit of hesitation there from Phaler, and what looked like an uncontested score suddenly gets intercepted. And a big 30 damage plunge from Core's Crone, and that drops Phaler down to just 9 Pyre life. Titan 2 stun, though, does give Phaler some time. Oh, but then Core returns the favor a bit with a stunning claim. Phaler says, alright, I'll walk it in, though. No leech on Headwind, it doesn't seem, though. No, actually he did have leech, despite it not saying that. So Phaler back up to 19 Pyre life. Still not enough to make a huge difference here, and he's without Headwind in this round. But if he can get Headwind back and get some more leech, that could be a difference maker, except no one back defensively. Oh, Core gets a little greedy, though. Does have enough time to finish the job with the Demon Plunge.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
Double PM. Well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
He's reaching new lows. The BM, it's off the charts. All right, well, let's turn Customize back on, unless, of course, that's something that we want to turn back off. If so, let us know, or if there's anything else you'd like for us to do for this next one, for that matter. Not seeing anything here, though. So unless anyone has any last thoughts about what they'd like for us to do, it looks like we might just have the players take whatever they want for this next one. So let's get going.
The dissidents.
Oh, that's true.
Versus
That's
the
true.
Beyonders.
Core says this one's personal. You can't just say worm bad and expect to get away with it.
Who shall conduct the rites? Alma.
There goes for the speed throw, Ninja Ulmer. That'll be his lead. Core goes Speedy Jody.
Exile.
Had Lanthorn Raji, second choice for Phaler. Core just rearranging the talismans real quick. This is important stuff. This belongs here. That ought to go there. I was gonna say, imagine if just rearranging the talismans could make it so that you could use a legendary talisman on a character who's not supposed to be able to use a legendary talisman. Was not the case, though. It is a ranged throwing talisman on the stowaway in the final spot for Phaler. Whereas Core will go Webbed Lanthorn on Tizo. Phaler, off to a quick start with that teleportation to the orb, but Core has intercepted the throw, and now he's on the attack. Unblockable Crone throw has enough on it to make it in for 30 damage here. Phaler teleports once more, this time throw intercepted again, though. Gertrude. Vanished. Imp versus Imp. Phaler teleports once more. Vanished, though, and now it's Jody for Core. She's blocked, but banishes the defender, except that defender explodes and banishes Jody as well. Ulmer, throw intercepted. Core through the portal, gets infinite stamina in the process. But Phaler does have someone back. makes the banishment. Goes the ninja route. Core has it back, at least temporarily though, gets the banishment. Now through the portal he goes. And in he goes for 30 damage, Jody Plunge. And there's teleport. This time the throw does connect. And as we're seeing here, Core had taken some extra starting Pyre life, so even after that he's still over 100. Core in with Jody. Trying to cause some trouble, but gets banished. This time, Gertrude, more successful on that occasion. And that drops Phaler down to 10 Pyre life. I don't believe he has any leech. We have seen a lot of that today, but not on this occasion, I don't think. So I think that means that one score is all that Core will need, and that will likely remain the case for the remainder of this rite. Phaler's not going down easy. Won't give up without a fight as he throws it in for 20. But Gertrude comes in and gets a triple banishment. No one back defensively, so if Core is quick, he can seal the deal.
The Beyonders prevail.
GG.
They vastly outperformed their adversaries. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. And now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, so let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to do for this next one. If not, we can have the players take whatever they'd like. That's always an option. And one that perhaps we will take here, as not seeing any requests, so alright. We'll get back into the action.
The dissidents shall now
This
face
time,
the
at the Nest of
Beyonders.
Trieste.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Okay, there goes the Ninja Almer route for his lead. Core apparently unsure how to respond to that.
Choose someone.
Or his internet's dead.
Or he's AFK. Let me see. Any indication on the Discords? He's muted. So if you could
Does he
hear
show up
us,
online
Core.
in Steam?
Let's see. Good question. He appears to... Yeah, I mean, he's still in remote play, so that might, by default, mean that he's always going to show up as online. But yeah, if you are trying to respond to us, Core, you are currently muted, for what it's worth.
Sorry, I'm back.
There we go.
Did we start? Did we start?
We did, in fact, start.
Okay, my bad.
We have a quick throwing Ninja Almer is Phaler's lead. at the nest. And Core chooses a speedy messenger imp to be his lead in that case. Well, Phaler will go Webbed Lanthorn Raji.
Tizo.
Haoob's Wing on Tizo, second choice for Core. Phaler Titan Tooth on his harp, so he will stun anyone that he flies into. And Core right now has 2 ghostly imps.
Well,
Ultimately settles on a Leeching Ignarius with Brazen Manor as well, so potential 60-point swing if he can make that work. But Phaler, the very quick start here, teleporting to the orb and throwing it in for 20. We're trying to follow up with more of that, but unsuccessful on that attempt, as several players end up in the lava. Core, a very frightening imp, was hovering over the lava, but did eventually get banished. Although the stuns, making it hard for Core to defend here, giving Phaler enough time to make it in for 20 with that plunge. Double banishment. Phaler, though, does not have prayer beads on Tempha, so she's gone for this round, and that means more space for Core, and he had the extra damage. 25 on that imp plunge rather than the usual 15. No prayer beads, though, on Tizo, so he's now gone for this round. Messenger Imp. To Iggy. Back to Messenger Imp, and now just Messenger Imp. Oh, and, I don't know if he was expecting a Webbed Lanthorn there. If so, well, it did not activate. It did not bring back any of his teammates there. Phaler, with everyone banished. Oh, tried to teleport to the orb, but ended up just barely in the lava. Core has been keen on going down that southern route there, over the lava, on some occasions. But Phaler wins it back and plunges once again here. Drops Core down to 25. And I think Phaler maxes out at 20 damage per round, so he would still need 2 scores here. But don't forget, Core does have a potential 60-point swing if he can score with Ignarius while he has that Brazen Manor active. Both the extra damage and also Leech in the process as well. But it is not easy to do that. And so Phaler wins it back and throws it in for 20. But with a deficit such as this, perhaps Core needs to try to pull off combos like that. Does have a portal right next to Phaler's Pyre, but Phaler is back in possession. And Harp pushes his way in for the win.
the dissidents prevail.
GG.
Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame. The rite is ended.
All right. Well played, you two. And let's head on back.
the stars align.
Okay, and let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, we can always just have the players take whatever they'd like. That is also an option. And if we do not have any requests, then we can always go with that.
The dissidents shall confront the Beyonders.
Is this our first cairn of the day? I feel like we haven't seen it yet.
Who shall conduct the rites?
If we have, then it must have been very early on. So we certainly have not seen much of it. And Taylor comes out here making a statement. First selection is a canned singularity Tizo. So whenever he is brought back from banishment, he will suck in neighboring exiles like a vacuum cleaner, and if they fall into the radius of his aura, they will get banished in the process. Which is certainly a recipe for chaos. And one way he can more regularly activate that chaos is by using the Sacred Bond from Headwind to step on Tizo's portrait, bringing him back from banishment, and in doing so, activating that canned singularity. Meanwhile, Core goes Nutrition Stick on Volfred with maximum rekindling. So that means he will have a 50 life, second life bar. Failur's final choice will be an Exploding Deluge. As Core goes for a Leeching Rookie. Alright, here we go. Core first the orb, he goes the throwing route with his worm, and it's a quick throw, just 6 damage. And that might have been multiple explosions there, certainly at least from Failur's worm. Here is that worm, exploding and taking out 2 of Core's exiles in the process. That leaves just Volfred remaining. Saw the cast coming from Headwind, and, well, they both get banished, in fact. Not quite quick enough from Rookie there for Core, so Failur back in possession. Through the portal he goes, and C's chance was active, but was unable to capitalize on that extra damage as he got blocked, and the counterattack is quick from Core and good for 20. But he did not have prayer beads on Rookie, so Rookie is now gone for this round. That makes it easier for Core to trigger the... I mean, it's not Infinite Worms, but he gets his worm back. That's not enough, though, to stop Failur from throwing this one in for 15. Core is back with his worm. This time it is 15. Tizo for Failur gets banished, though that might have just been to set up the canned singularity to create a little bit of room from that chaos for a worm plunge. Now Failur is delugeless. Needs more room for Core. This time throw it in for 12. Failur gets Tizo taken out, and you need to be mindful of that, because that is his canned singularity, although that'll reset. The portal is gone as Core plunges with his sap for 25. No prayer beads on that sap, so now Volfred is gone for this round. But Core's throw lands with his worm, and ooh, must have had Seize Chance active, because that was 20. And that means Failur is just holding on here with 2 Pyre life. So 1 score, surely all that Core would need. Doesn't matter where he gets it from. Of course, anyone would have enough damage to make that happen. Oh, and a well-timed stunning claim, except Phaler just in time gets his own stunning claim off. And able to defend against Core's Exile, who was right next to his Pyre. And of course, if that Exile had made it in, it would have been game, set, and match. Well shielded from Volfred, and he's becoming threatening here, but he does not have enough time to get the throw off. Phaler tries to make it through with his worm, but unable to make it past the sapling. Oh, and casts into the sapling. Bounces back and gets rid of one of his defenders. A little more space for Core. And that's all he needed to plunge in for the win.
Most excellently done this time, I must admit.
GG.
The rite is done.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, now let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for this one. If not, though, of course, we can just jump back in. Except there very much is something. It is a customized off from Blood Princess. So randomized Exiles, Masteries, Talismans. Won't get to see what those things are in advance. Just going to get thrown straight into the action. Could still do an arena. Could still do a song if either of those are of interest. But not seeing those at the moment. In which case, we will leave it at just the customize off, I suppose, and we will see what we end up with this time. It's on the book. Phaler has a Savage, I think that's Orlek, and a Sap. It is Orlek. In fact, the Savage is also Gareth. That is almost a pure True Nightwings team, if only that Sap were Volfred. And then, well, it's an uncontested opportunity for Gareth to throw it in here for 20. On Core's side, it is a Savage, a Harp, and a Worm. We also saw that one of Phaler's Exiles had the 10 damage talisman at the beginning, which is why Core started off with just 90 Pyre life. Here is Orlek, though. Open opportunity to throw that in for 25. Gareth teleports, but gets banished. Stowaway gets banished, and speaking of banishment, Orlek went on a banishing spree, but he does eventually go down, and it'll be a long time until he returns. Luminous Idol we now learn for the Stowaway. Not a bad option for her, especially when she can teleport to the orb. That's kind of a nifty combo. Gareth, blocked. Banishes one of the defenders, but then gets banished by the second. Sapling takes out Pamitha. Stowaway taken out as well. Gilman, he's stopped. Orlek is back. Not for long. He will be gone for a long time, though, as the Stowaway nearly made it in there. Trying to put up a fight here with Manly, and nearly won that fight until Manly had the last say with that Sapling. Although, Phaler momentarily defenseless, but just enough of a window. Ooh, for a 22 damage worm throw there for Core. Oh, but Flame Leech means not only 20 damage, but 10 leech back for Phaler, coming from Gareth's plunge. He is now gone for this round, though. There's Luminous Idol for the Stowaway, and that might have been a difference maker to set up that 20 damage plunge for her. Core threatening to banish. Phaler was unfazed, but still lost Orlek in the process. Pamitha blocked, and Gilman has it, throws it, and scores it for 14. Gareth Banished.
to the occasion.
Stowaway. Back to Gilman. Gilman stopped. Orlek blocked, but banishes one defender. Banished by the second. Stowaway on the attack. Her throw intercepted. But now Gareth has, well, had some room until Core got someone back defensively. And the Stowaway was still hanging out next to Phaler's Pyre and an opportunity to throw in uncontested for 20. Gareth banished. Stowaway for Core. We're moving all of his pieces into the middle here. Aggressive play, but that does make it easier for Orlek to get a double banishment there, and means less ability for Core to defend against this, but does manage to do so. And in fact, enough space for Gilman to throw this one in for 16. And that means it is now possible for Core to finish this with one score, except, did Phaler freeze there? Looks like he's good now. Do you want me to count you guys down? Or are we good to just take it from here?
Yeah, sure. You can count down.
Okay, I'll give you, I'll put us on this screen. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go we'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. Or with the Stowaway.
The orb is taken.
But Phaler picks it back up with Orlek. And we have seen extra damage from Gilman here, so usually you would think Gilman would not be as big of a threat for Core on this occasion, because he would not have enough damage, but that is not the case here, I don't think. Oh, but we do know, we have seen, Gareth has Leech. Not only is it now possible for Phaler to win this one, but the Leech now means that it is quite difficult, if not impossible, for Core to finish this with one score. Orlek hopping around, but does eventually get banished. Gilman nearly found a narrow opening there. Well banished by the Stowaway. And opportunity for her to throw this one in, but she maxes out at 20 damage. I think that means we now have ourselves a sudden death match here, unless of course Phaler has an unexpected source of rekindling from Manly, as he does of course have a sap. So it is possible. With Customize off, you never really know. Orlek, banished. Core. With Gilman. Banished, although there is the Stowaway teleporting and jumping in, but there is the rekindling. It's 10 coming from Manly, and now we truly do know that this should be a one-score match, unless Core has an unexpected source of rekindling with a RITE Light. We have seen some of Core's talismans, but not sure we've confirmed all of them, so there's a chance. The reason we haven't seen all of them is because one of them is a RITE Light, and it only pops up at the very end. Or though with an unblockable worm throw to finish the job.
The Beyonders prevail.
GG.
Or you could say they managed to avoid defeat. The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, well let's reset ourselves here, turn the Customize back on, but let us know if there's anything we'd like to do for this next one. And just a time check as well, it's getting a little bit later. Does anyone need to head out soon?
Soonish, yeah.
Soonish? Okay. In that case, it might make sense for this to be our penultimate rite for the Liberation Rite. That way, we have one more opportunity in case anyone would like to give us specific requests. As, of course, for the Liberation Rite, we will just have the players take their preferred teams. So if there is anything we have yet to see between Phaler and Core that we would still like to have happen, then let us know. May you suggest a game for a stream video sometime? And by a game, do you mean like a different game? Like not a specific way to set up a team for this game, but rather than playing Pyre. Different game? I mean, welcome to suggest it, I suppose. I can't really make any promises, especially given how my life schedule is pretty packed at the moment. What if there's a cool game that you feel like is worth checking out, then I can potentially see. War Tales has been a lot of fun lately. Off the top of my head, it has co-op. I don't recognize it by name. War Tales. I don't think I know it. Is this an ad? What? I've been bamboozled. Yeah, no, I don't think I've heard of it. I don't know it. No way.
You're cutting out on Discord lids, by the way.
I'm what on Discord?
I don't know. Like, you're cutting out on Discord. I don't know if Failur's experiencing that.
Yeah, hearing the same, but it's alright.
Okay, I was leaning back in my chair a little bit, astounded by that proposal. So maybe that was it. Wasn't speaking as directly into the microphone. I don't know. Yeah, no worries. I don't know the game. So, you know, maybe I'll give it a look, but as I said, at least at the moment, my schedule is pretty packed, so I can't really add much incrementally onto what I'm already doing. But I can give it a look, I suppose, at the very least. But not seeing any requests for this next one, I don't think. Oh yeah, you know, you could just post a link in the Discord, in my Discord as a reminder. Yeah, I mean, again, like, no promises, but I don't even know it by name, so. But yeah, not seeing any requests for this upcoming match, so in that case, I think we'll just jump in.
The dissidents.
Okay, so our penultimate rite will take place at the Pit of Malith.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
No requests for this one, though, so it is up to them to take whatever they please here, and as we often say, on this arena in particular, there are certainly some interesting directions the players could choose to go in. As for whether they choose to embrace that, or treat it as if this was any old normal rite, that remains to be seen. Phaler goes for the Ninja Ulmer. We certainly do see him take that regularly, so hard to read too much into that just yet. Core goes the power casting Snadra route. There's the scribe snuff for you. Resetting the masteries. Taylor changing his mind, but goes with the web lanthorn. And Leech on Gilman is the second choice for Core. Titan Tooth on a Saluting Vorfrit for Phaler. So he'll be able to transform all of Core's exiles into defenseless howlers once, for what is usually one quote-unquote free score, and Titan Tooth to stun anyone that he jumps into as well. Core will finish with a Numbing Gust, quick throwing Manly. So here we are, with our penultimate Rite of the Night. Taylor's throw intercepted. Now Core on the attack. No Failure applying pressure. And nearly won it back right next to Core's Pyre. The Core still has it, with Gilman here. Now Snadra. Gilman here with the throw, unblockable, and does have enough on it to land for the full 15. Taylor's throw intercepted, though Almer gets some banishments, and on this occasion, the throw does land. Almer again, intercepted again. 4 banished. Forfeit for Failure. Banished as well. Gilman. Cautious in his approach. While Snadra, much more aggressive. And Gilman, this time, goes straight in for 15. Can't get the throw to land from Almer. But somehow, Forfeit ended up back with it, at least momentarily. And then Failure saw that Core left the orb just sitting there right next to his own Pyre and teleported to it. And this time gets the quick throw after the teleportation from Almer. That time it's intercepted again though. Worm throw is unblockable except that it's short. So Failure with it back here. Does have the Titan Tooth which stuns Core and sets up this 30 damage plunge. No Forfeit in this round after she plunged. Failure. Pushing aggressively here with Raji. Does set up a dangerous portal, but now neither player with any exiles. Manly the first to come back. Gilman. Now just Raji for Failure. He's shoulder smash. Now Failure's defenseless momentarily. Not quite enough time though for Core to make it in with Snadra as she is now banished. Gilman. Unsuccessful as well as lots of banishments here. Almer avoids that banishment, throws it in, and takes the win. GG.
Still had the salute.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. And let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, and I think it is time. I think it is time for our Liberation Rite, so that means no requests for this one. We will be finishing things off in style, with the players taking their preferred teams, and that means Fall Solium, Sermon Intro on, and for the Beyonders, we usually go, what, the Old Never to Return? Is that what you want, Core?
Up to you, I don't care.
I think that's what we had established, right? Because we said Old Never to Return is Beyonders. Because what else would they be? Not the Nightwings. Yeah, I think it's Old Never to Return. Okay. Well, in that case, let us begin our Liberation Rite.
Good evening, exiles. You are gathered at the Fall of Solium. Here, one of you may walk the path to glory, prevail, and step closer to freedom. Dissidents, stand ready. Prepare yourselves, Beyonders. Who shall conduct this rite?
Alright, so as we were saying, this will be our final Rite of the Night, our Liberation Rite. So no requests for this one, both players taking their preferred teams. For Failure, that means it'll be a Ninja Almer Meanwhile, Core goes for a quick throwing, saluting Bertrude.
Exile.
Webbed Lanthorn on Raji, second choice for Phalar. And Core's second choice is Kerfang on Rookie. Final selection from Phalar, and it is a Titan Tooth saluting Bertrude. Final choice for Core. Now he'll reset the masteries. Checks the scouting report, didn't like what he saw, but locks in Webbed Lanthorn Messenger Imp. So here we go with our final rite of the night. Our Liberation Rite, Phalar on the left representing the Dissidents, and Core on the right representing the Beyonders. Best of luck to you both. And there it is.
Counter picking bastard.
Possibly the only time
Bastard.
we have ever seen 6 Howlers on the field simultaneously. Well played, you two. That was, of course, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Thank you everybody who participated in the rites today, and thank you everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. Alright, but I am going to jump out of Discord. I will catch you guys next week. Alright, let's just double check. Have they fled remote play? They have, understandably. They know the deal. They know to get out there as soon as possible. But anyways, as I was saying, that was our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today, and thank you everybody who gave us the request today in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server where we organize all this stuff, and you can do that by clicking on, did I spell that right? That link, right there. My name is Lids, I'm hosting these Rite Nights. My streaming schedule is Fridays, we are doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer. Saturdays, we are doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then Sundays, obviously, Pyre multiplayer. Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch it there as well. Also doing some Gwent videos, the Witcher-themed card game, as well as every now and again, a few other games here and there. But if you haven't done so yet already, of course, you can also hit the follow button to get notification for when I go live. Just follow me on Twitter, @LidsVids. I post everything live as well, but actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my own Discord, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.